I'm going to keep this hand. It's actually not the worst hand in the world. Bolt, Bolt, Helix. Should keep enough aggression off my back until I get an Ajani. It would be greater if I drew myself a threat, but I don't want to mull this. It's also an interesting hand, and I'm known to do stuff like that. I mean, you know it's totally up now. But if I'm against probing without anything else, that could be Storm. It could be the American Glitter Storm without glitter, which I think it's better if you're actually running Glitter Storm. It also makes it more interesting if you're running Glittering Wish. So I might just be biased. But this actually isn't the worst hand if I'm playing against that too, because I can simply go bolt all their Fate Stitchers. Like, it's not the worst. I'm gonna assume that's what I'm actually playing against here. I could be playing against Storm, like actual Storm, but I've got a feeling I'm playing against that. I'm getting bolted here, so it might not be that. Get myself access to green and red seems to be the best idea that I can do, although getting myself access to, yeah, green and red's probably the best. Then I guess we'll take the damage off of this, because we don't have to, actually. Because we still got Bolt. And if he counters it, it's not like it really matters. I guess it could have mattered if he's got, like, Remand. But if he were to go Delver Remand, it's not an issue. I'm going to assume he's just Storm now. Well, no, he's... I have no clue what he's playing then. He's got to be Delver. He's got to be some Delver hoping that I won't, like, full-on start, like, bolting his butt up. If he keeps going ahead and just burning me like that, I'm going to go ahead and have to. Yeah, he's trying to see what I am. I'm obviously a Zoo deck now. But if he plays anything here, yeah, he's going to go ahead and reload. Sure. Swift Spear. If I play the Lightning Helix here, there's no way around it. Even if he plays something along the lines to growth it, his Monastery Swift Spear is still dead. Because it's in response to the trigger. He's going to Vapor Snag himself, which is fine with me. I don't gain the life, but he goes again down to parity. I still have lots of bolts and helixes to deal with here. I could theoretically kill him off of just burn. So we know one card in his hand is Swift Spear, and we're going to have to play with that in mind. think we're going to have to, again, play with that Swift Spear idea in mind. I want to put down the Gorklang Rampager. I want to put down the Ajani Vengeance. I put down the Ajani. I can't... He can just swing if I go with -3. So I think I go ahead and play this probably tapped, because if he mana leaks it, yeah, then I'll feel dumb, but then I can still bolt. Or I can steal Helix. If I play it untapped, it allows me to Helix, bolt, which I think is not fine with our life being low enough. We'll see what he does here. And again, this can also just kill him straight up because of his life total. So 3 triggers is not going to be enough to kill me. He's only dealing 1 damage to me. He still can't kill me, even with burn. Again, our best bet here is to, well, now that he's holding up mana, I think our best bet is to bolt the Monastery Swift Spear and then Lightning Helix him. He's snagging his own dude, that's fine. I think I'm going to go ahead at this point and to Lightning Helix his face, just to pull me out of burn range. So the question here is, do we play the Gorklang Rampager, or do we just go for the kill? I think we see if we can go for the kill, because we can still... We can still bolt his Monastery Swift Spear that he tries to put out. So I think I just did a zoo here. I think I can even bolt here and not worry about a counterspell, because we know 2 of the cards in his hands might be counterspells. But if he remands it and then he goes and kills my Ajani, I still have the kill for him with bolt. I can also play a Gorklang Rampager next turn, so I think going for the kill here is fine. So we were the zoo deck that won without actually playing a creature that game. Who knew? Who knew you can do that? But like I said, Johnny, he's good, man. He's got that tempo. We just basically used him as a burn spell, and this guy did enough damage to himself that we didn't even need to worry too much about it. He had Vapor Snags that he spent, and he also wasted a lot of time. I guess he saw with the first Vapor Snag that we had enough removal for any of his dudes, like his Monastery Swift Spear. So he decided to go for the burn spell instead, which is not the best choice in the world. So we're gonna bring in the chokes. We're gonna bring in the refraction traps. We're gonna bring in the we're gonna bring in all the other stuff, all the goodies we need: the chokes, the refraction traps, the fallouts. We're going to take out the Gore Clan because we're not the well, we are the aggro here, don't get me wrong, but this can get blown out by their removal very easily. We're going to take out the Qasali Pride Mages, and then take out one Ajani. Ajani did work there, but like I said, it was a late game thing. Very easily could have been very different if he had like a young Pyromancer or something. Now, obviously, we're not going to play first. But this is a very keepable hand. We got a Choke, we got a Noctills, we got Tarmogoyfs, which they can't really remove very easily. So we'll keep that guy. I'm going to guess Swift Spear, or I'm going to guess a Search Filter. 3 cards entered the Exile Zone. Alright, so he played a Thought Scour on himself. This means our Tarmogoyf is pretty big already. We drew a land, so we know we'll go into be able to Noctill. The way I want to go about this, he's going to have a second land next turn, and then he can Blood Moon on a third land. So next turn, he's got 2 lands. I can put down a third land. I think it's probably best to do this a little out of order. Because, again, we're going for the Choke kill here, probably, and the Tarmogoyfs are working a kill, not Noctill. Now, Noctill can die to a Forked Bolt if you kept them in. Here, if I do it this way, but I don't want to die to a Blood Moon, because a Blood Moon's what's really going to kill me. Or I guess if I just get green, I should be fine off of the Blood Moon. But it's annoying. I think the best bet here is to get green and then to get maybe not white next turn. But we'll see. I think we're going to need to get green here, just a basic, and put out the Wild Noctill. Yeah, he can blow me out with a Forked Bolt or a Gut Shot if he's got it still in deck. But I'm going to go ahead and let that option maybe happen. If he does Forked Bolt, then that goes ahead and gives us lets us drop Tarmogoyf 100% for free. With the exception of course, Spell Snare. We got a backup Tarmogoyf for that too. But if he bolts it, it makes no difference. The only difference if he decides to bolt here is that, well, sure, he's got a 1/1 now. He sees that we've got a Choke. If I draw a removal spell, I will use it against the young Pyromancer. If I don't, we're just going to go ahead and put out the Tarmogoyf, because there's no real good way for him to deal with it, especially now that Tarmogoyf is a 4/5 after this probe finishes up. But he's going to keep up counterspells from now on because of my Choke, which I can actually use to my advantage. It means that I've got an opening here. Instead, we're going to draw a... Instead, we're going to end up drawing a Lightning Helix, which isn't going to work because of my basic forest that I drew. I was hoping that maybe I'd get a Bolt instead, but hey, you know, you gotta use what you gotta have. He's still gonna at least block here or take some damage. And we got the free Tarmogoyf out there. So if he does deal with Tarmogoyf, that means that we've got Windswept Heath to put out the Choke, and if he has the Spell Pierce, which he could totally use in that situation, well, I mean, he's got it then, you know? Nothing I can really do about it. So what he's trying to do here is bait me into blocking, which I think I'm still going to do because I've got another Tarmogoyf, and I've got a Lightning Helix to deal with it next turn, as well as I've got a Choke. So I think we still block here. Because he can double bolt it in response, but then that gives us an opening for Choke. Again, that's perfectly fine and dandy in my opinion. 2/1/1s is not really going to do much to me. It's a blocker, especially when I've got the choke. And another Tarmogoyf in hand. That's fine. Especially with a Fallout to clean up. Now, if I had the Fallout last turn, things would have been a little different. I don't want to get my Tarmogoyf countered. I'd rather get my my choke countered. So we'll go for it. We got to get a red. We would prefer a red and white. Again, the counterspell is definitely something that could happen regardless, so I don't mind this. This puts me ahead of cards. It also means that he's got a 1/1. If he puts out a young Pyromancer again, I can Volcanic Fallout and wipe the board super clean. Squeaky clean. Perfectly fine with me. So he's going to probe, and that's going to be a waste here. He might as well swing for 1 damage that he can. Because next turn now, with this kind of board, I'm just going to fall out here. And again, there's no reason for me to fall out yet. Might as well fall out on his turn. He can't counter it. Might as well give him the option of messing up, you know? Sure, snap it. He's snapping into that Spell Pierce. Again, I gave him the option to mess up, so that's fine with me. So the guy, like I said, I gave him the option to mess up. He didn't know that you can't counter it, so I'm going to go ahead and just start getting really far ahead now. That's probably going to be game here. Sure, you can do some cruising. The thing with cruise is, against Zoo specifically, is it tries to set up. It's a desperate play. It means that you don't have the answer that you need right now, and that is probably something that you're going to die for. I mean, the fact is here I can kill his Delver, and I'm still going to get in at least 2 damage here. Also, if I draw a land, he's could very well just be dead. Sure, put out 2 Delvers, that's fine. He's tapped out, and he's dead, so there's that. Then we're going to crack this, we'll get ourselves out of basic mountain. And then we're going to go ahead and just bolt him to death. So Zoo is still stupidly good against Delver.